Hey, what's up, my fellow teacher friends? This is Dave, and I am coming at you with a video series to help with the new school year. I have been tasked from the PBIS team to talk about circles and give a little bit of an introduction to circles, which is what this video is going to be all about, and also to just go over all different types of ideas for play circles, which I'm super excited about. I love play circles. I love all circles, really, which is why I got this square tattooed right on my arm. I love circles so much. Sorry. Yeah, I will be making all kinds of jokes throughout the whole of it all because it might as well be fun. So with this video, I'm just going to introduce what all circles should have in common, what are the goals, and then I'm also going to talk about what all play circles should do and how to go about them. All right, let's get into it. So just real quick, this is a graphic that the PBIS team made this summer, and it just shows you the 4 different types of circles that are most common. And I guess I'll go through them real quick. Peacekeeper circle. We're all pretty familiar with this type of circle, which is the deep dive into emotions, building empathy as the main goal, and also just getting us circling up. Check-in circles are kind of like a morning check-in, a morning meeting type, and they are fun and thoughtful, but they can also help us. The main goal of these is to help students get into the habit of circling up. And restorative circles are very similar to peacekeeper circles, but they're used specifically when conflict arises. So peacekeeper circles are mostly before the conflict happens, and restorative circles are when you're in the middle of conflict. And it could be with just a couple students or with the whole class. And finally, we have the play circles. And these are the circles that help get kids motivated to circle. They build community, and they're a lot of fun to be in. And that's what we're mostly going to be talking about in this series. Sweet. Now that we did that quick review of the different types of circles, I'm going to go over what some of the goals of circles are trying to accomplish. So there are 6 of them, and I'll put them up on the board. So feel free to not write notes. All right. Number 1, circles build classroom community and culture. Number 2, they strengthen relationships between members of the classroom. And this is especially true from peer-to-peer relationships, but they also help strengthen peer-to-teacher relationships. Number 3, circles create trust. Number 4, they demonstrate empathy. And number 5, they use active listening. And number 6, they help with conflict resolution. Now, not each circle is going to accomplish one of these 6 tasks. For instance, play circles don't frequently deal with conflict resolution, but overall, with all the circles, your goal is to work on these 6 things within your classroom. All right, up next, we're going to go over the 4 basic rules that every circle should abide by. And these are the rules developed by or taken from restorative justice or restorative practices. And that's where most of this idea of circling comes up. But you should know that as a facilitator, these are really your circles, right? And the main goal is for you to be most comfortable when you're running a circle and most sort of grounded and emotionally ready to be able to run a circle. So if you feel like you need to change up a little bit, then that's your choice because that's the choice of the facilitator. But without further ado, here are the 4 restorative justices rules to running a circle. Number 1, everyone, including teachers, sit in a circle. So you actually form a circle. Number 2, respect is paramount. And above all else, circles need to always be a safe space for everybody. And this should always be stated as a reminder at the start of every circle. Number 3, only one person talks at a time. And there should be a talking piece to symbolize this. Some sort of like, a stick or a ball or something else, whatever feels comfortable to you. All right. Number 4, not everyone has to talk. And this is often said by it's all right to pass. I also think it's nice to have a bell or chime to start and end the circle to sort of create a different space within the classroom. That's one of the ideas with these rules is to create a different space. All right. We're going to quickly go over the basic premise of a play circle, and then we're going to get into the idea or we're going to get into some actual ideas for play circles. All right, y'all. Here are the 6 steps that make up a good play circle. I'm just going to list them out, and then we're going to go shortly into each one, and then we're done. All right. Up first, you need an opening. Number 2, you need a question. Number 3, you preview the circle. Number 4, you do the circle. Number 5, you review the circle. And number 6, you need a closing. All right, let's look at 1. So when you're opening up a circle, it's important because you're letting the students know that it's transition time into a circle. So I'm going to give you 3 different possible examples, and you can do it any way you want as you're the facilitator. But one example is simply just ringing a chime 3 times. Another example would be you could all hold hands and pass the squeeze, where one person starts to squeeze and it travels all the way around in a circle and comes back to the person who started it. And the third way, this is more for outside, but you could do what I call the wave, where you start off and you all start making a quiet noise, and then you get to a loud noise and you come back down to a quiet noise. So you could start off like, whoa. You do that 3 different times. So that's 3 different ways for possibly opening up a circle. So now that the circle is open, it's a good time to do a fun question, a fun little go around. And these are questions. They can be thoughtful, they can be silly, they can be kind of just whatever. But these questions are sort of designed to be fast, popcorn style, and just to get kids thinking and talking a little bit, which can sometimes be an issue. So some examples are like, a best friend is someone who, and you keep going around. Or my favorite animal is, or when someone once helped me, they, or if I was a dragon, I would. So those are just some examples, and this shouldn't take very long. It should take a minute. All right, now that the kids are primed and ready to go, it's time to preview the activity for them. And this is a chance to go over some of the goals as well. So it's not just telling what you're going to do, but it's also a chance for them to be thoughtful ahead of time. If there's a particular goal like listening that you want to work on, or a particular goal like, what's another good example? Empathy, or maybe working together. Those are some of the classic ones from these play circles. Those should be outlined for the kids. And then at the review section, you're going to talk about how the class did. So obviously, when you do the activity, you do the activity. But some things to think about are you wanting to be super hands-on, or do you want the kids to work together to figure it out? And each circle has different activity or different goals in mind for this. But as a facilitator, it's good to be mindful of that and to stop things when things get out of control, or when things aren't, when they're kind of stagnant too. So those are some of the ideas. Up next is the most important step in my mind. This is the chance to review, to talk about how things went, talk about goals met, talk about how much fun was had. This is a chance for you as a facilitator to sort of get it out of the kids, what they got from it. And maybe this is a chance to get feedback as well. This review is crucial, and you should definitely leave at least 5 minutes for this, if not more. The last and final step is to close the circle. And there's a million different ideas, and you should do something that feels good to you and that you feel comfortable doing. I'll give you a few different ideas. I typically like to end with gratitude because that feels really good to me. Sometimes I'll just say a gratitude and we'll move on, or sometimes I'll let the kids go around and do a gratitude, or sometimes I'll say like, oh, we have time for 3 gratitudes. Does anyone want to share something that they're grateful for? I had a friend that used to have a saying that she would say at the end of every circle, and I'll mess it up, but it was something sort of like, the lighthouse shines light to help people. Just know that the lighthouse is shining on you, and we hope that you have a great day. Something like that. She said that at the end of every circle she ran. Or you could simply just hit the chime 3 times again and close it out that way. But it's important to let the class know that the circle is over, and sort of transition back into classwork. Well, thanks y'all so much for watching this video. It is by far the most boring of the videos. The ones to come will all be about the play circles that you just learned about. But yeah, I'm going to try to do my best to run some circles. I don't have a whole lot to work with. I have chickens, and you know what the old expression says, if you can herd chickens, you can herd elementary school kids. So we'll see if I can do that. Maybe Julie will get involved. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching episode 1, the introduction, and we'll see you soon.